Thank you for staying with us. Nigeria 65, a time to reflect not just on the challenges, but also on the resilience, progress and potential of Africa's most populous nation. In the President's Independence Day speech, President Bola Tinubu highlighted key reforms, the strength of the Nigerian spirit, and the renewed commitment to building a more prosperous nation for all. And to help us with deeper insights into what lies ahead, we're joined by political affairs analyst Ayodele Adewale. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, sir.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Right, so looking back, I'm sure you watched the president's speech yesterday. So looking back over 65 years, would you say Nigeria has made significant progress as a nation?
Oh, definitely. We've made giant strides, especially as our political architecture evolves. We've gone through the bitter past of the military adventurers that actually came to distort our political journey. And we've also gone past a lot of wasteful period. Wasteful period. And I use that cautiously, wasteful period, because there was a time when Nigeria enjoyed a lot of oil windfall, especially during the military era. And of course, I think at the Fourth Republic, around the year 2000 and downward, and all that, proper management was not seen, because if there had been a deliberate, conscious build-up, by now, what the administration is trying to rejig and setting a concrete foundation for economic prosperity wouldn't have been, right? They would have been laying on additional foundation to take us to a much greater height. But again, that is history. That is history. We need to move on from where we are. And I'm particularly gladdened by the brief statement that the president was able to put out touching cogent areas, especially areas that concerns the youth, who are today and future of this country. He also talked about the economic architecture of this country, spoke about the tax, that the rich will have to, try to cover the gap for the poor. And for those at the bottom of the pyramid, a lot of them will be exempted, right, in order to help their businesses grow. Nigeria will be able to get more inflows in order to take us out of their borrowing that we are witnessing now, so that there'll be stability in funding of a lot of infrastructure and other welfare and sundry matters in the country. He also spoke on security, what the security professionals have been able to do in the country, and how they've been able to stem down what we're witnessing now. That is not to say that it is in wool yet, right? He also spoke about the involvement of the private sector and how a lot of them have come on board to support the economy and foreign direct investment, how it's coming on board. Spoke about so many things.
Yes, and also the president talked about, some challenges, which, impressively enough, he has not been able to shy away from those challenges. He embraces them because he knows that these are pertinent challenges, and he says he's ready to solve and address some of these challenges. But for you, beyond what the president has said yesterday, what do you consider the biggest challenges still facing Nigeria 65, and why do you think they have persisted?
The biggest challenges is in the power sector, right? The power sector and security. If we're able to get the power sector adequately right, and of course, work so strongly to create a very secure environment where a lot of people will be able to go back to the farms, and more people will believe in the security of the country. Definitely things would take shape faster.
If you had the president here and you needed to advise him on how to go about securing every Nigerian in this country across all regions, what would you tell him? Security
is not a one-man business, right? The president is He's the leader, he's in front, but he also needs the support of everyone. The support of everyone.
Does he have it?
He's getting it, and he's getting more of it as we journey on. And more people believe in his administration. And I've been privileged to govern a little space, so I think I should have some quantum of authority as it concerns security matters. You see, we don't just leave it to the security professionals alone, and I mean the state actors, right? We must embrace a sense of community policing. Like the president is also fast-tracking state police structures and all of this. State government, a lot of them must have to, quickly come to the bear in order to get this thing working. We do not have enough boots on the ground. And when I mean boots on the ground, men, officers that will carry out these country matters. So we need state government to play their part, local government to play their part, but all Nigerians to also decide that, look, yes, we have men and officers of various security agencies to protect us, but we must protect ourselves. We must shun away from bad deeds. We must be able to live among ourselves as neighbors, right? We must not be quick to take up arms in order to settle some quarrels. If we're able to do that, then the security professionals will have less work to do. We must also embrace, technology, right? We must be able to capture happenings around us and transmit it directly to those who will come in and wrap up the matter. If we all get involved, then we spend more. Then our values, right? A lot of values have been lost in so many corners of this country. There used to be a time in this country whereby people put things outside, right? People passing by will know the amount that such goods worth. They put the money there, you come back to see your money, right? So you don't really see that readily, right? So it means that people must trace back to the old good times and try to instill such values, especially among the young ones, because they are the ones that will grow up. If care is not taken, they will get into wrong hands and carry out these wrong deeds.
And speaking about the young ones, I mean, just to add to what the president said yesterday, what's your message to young Nigerians who feel disconnected from the system and have lost hope in this country's future?
Like the president said, he's encouraging them to believe in the country, right? Even if we have some gaps within the system, it's not enough for you to bring down the roof and rubbish the brand, because it is the brand that provides that identity for you. No matter the country you go, it can never be like home. Those who you meet there will have one cause or the other to refer you back to where you have come from. You can see what is happening in the UK. You can see what is happening in America, right? Yes, we are going for green. Some people are going for greener pasture. But those at home must decide to hold on to the system, support the administration. Those who have the opportunity to go abroad, don't debrand the brand. If you keep doing this, it's going to affect the outlook of the country, and it will make the work more difficult to achieve.
All right. And how instructive do you consider the president's speech yesterday?
The president's speech was very inspiring.
What stood out for you?
For me, it was very inspiring, right? It's a speech that gives hope that something is happening and something is going to get us to a future that we all desire. It's not a speech where it seems to be helpless. No. It's an inspiring speech. It's a hopeful speech. It's a speech that pushes you to continue the journey, right? And we have no other place to call home, you understand? We just must all do our bits, regardless of the gaps, right? We must all do our bits in order to put this country to where it should be.
Because the president says choosing tomorrow over the comfort of today sounds noble, but it has come with hardship for many Nigerians. If you're to dissect this speech, how do you think the government should balance long-term reforms with immediate public welfare? Because Nigerians are still complaining.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I'm one of those who is also hit, right? You are affected.
I am.
Everybody,
Yes.
even the most wealthiest person in this country is affected in one way or the other. But that does not mean that we should throw in the towel, right? And that's what the president has said. His administration have also created safety nets, right? Look at the NEL funds. So you can imagine if that NEL fund wasn't there, you know how many youth, students would have left schooling by now, right? Thank God for that social intervention that is there, right? Look at the technical education structure that they put in place. You don't have to pay any money. The government is taking care of that. You go learn some skills, right? And develop yourself. You understand? Look at the infrastructure that is creating more job opportunity for people from Lagos to Calabar, right? From Lagos to Sokoto. You can imagine the thousands of jobs that is being created from the unskilled jobs to the skilled jobs, right? Even those interconnecting roads that they are putting across the country. Look at the gas pipeline that they're continuing. Even project from the Buhari administration, like the Maradi railway line is near completion, right? The CNG gas, right, is on board. Some companies have come to partner with some state government to provide electric vehicles for transportation.
The
and
list
so
is
many
endless,
things.
Ms. Adewale, but do you think the communication around these reforms have been adequately or have been clear enough to the public, especially the grassroots?
As for me, right, I would say, like I've said before, that the channel of communication for this administration has been increased exponentially more than ever before.
Can it be better?
The National Orientation Agency, right, I see them coming up every month to give account of what the administration is doing, especially on security and other matters, right? I've seen their social media engagement is more robust than where it was. I've seen collaboration between the mainstream media and the government, right, pouring out a lot of these workings that they've embarked on. But I think more searchlights need to go into the local government, right, and state government, especially the local government, because the federal government, the President Tinubu administration have created more fund base, right, for the local government, the 774 local government. So they also need to cushion, right, the developmental strides that is going on. If they're able to achieve that, then there'll be less dependency on the center. The grassroots will create more opportunities. Then a lot of the state governors must also do pro-people's program because they're getting more money, right? They need to push out more of this developmental action in order to stem down the challenges that we confront in society.
By the people, but also how can the government carry the people along in understanding some of the sacrifices being made?
People are being told what is happening, right? People are being carried along in many programs, right? Even all of the programs. Our population also have been, dissected into smaller bits in order to carry the people along. Recently, the First Lady used her birthday to raise funds in order to complete the National Library, right? That's human capacity building. A lot of people are going to benefit from the end point of that project, and along the journey of developing that project, jobs will be created. Similarly, First Ladies across the state must also pick from that, use their platform in order to create opportunities and also solve problems. First Ladies in local government should also use their platform to create such things, right? They set a template and people should start picking from it, you understand? By the time this strata of government all pick up this at the same momentum, I can assure you that we'll get there sooner than it's expected.
Let's talk about the education sector, because students in tertiary institutions across the country have hailed the president's reforms in the education sector. They've described it as bold and showing intent. Is this Nigeria, or rather, are we seeing a departure from the previous approaches to education in the country?
Oh,
especially higher
definitely,
education?
definitely. We've seen a departure in the sense that government is creating succor for the students. Like in my time, a lot of my colleagues could not complete their education. A lot of them, they had to drop out. Some of them were also doing extra work that disturbed their academic pursuit. But right now, they've even gone to a system that it has no human interference, direct. You don't need to know anybody. Go to the website, plug in your data, right? They verify from the school, they plug off your tuition fee, they give you some welfare fund, stipend, right, to support your daily living. So what you need to do now is prune down on your wasteful expenditure, focus on the needful things that will help you guarantee success in your education, knowing fully well that by the time you leave school, apart from you coming out with certificates, you will be certified in terms of the capacity that have been built inside of you. Then you can also create opportunities for yourself, and while government try to open more doors for opportunity in order to suck them in and provide jobs for them.
Oh, that sounds good. But going back to the president's speech, was there any part or anything missing in that speech that you believed should have been addressed?
I don't think so. You see, the speech was very apt, right? And it touches on key points of development, right? You don't have to have a very elaborate speech in order to wanting to be a Cicero, if you know what I mean. The major key point is what is happening in the country. He delved on it, put some assurance, show them area that is work in progress, show areas where they've been able to achieve great milestones, also show areas where they are going to embark on developmental action, and giving them a sense of assurance. And
will be 66 next year. What would you like to see government focus on in the coming year?
By next year, I want to see our energy sector, public energy, right? I want to see a system where state government will start producing energy, because the Buhari administration have been able to unbundle these things to the extent that state government can produce, private sector can produce, and when this production is all over the place,
thank you so much.
becomes
We're out of time.
saturated.
Thank you so much. Political affairs analyst Ayodele Adewale, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And happy Independence Day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone.